just beneath our very feet, a world teeming with life exists, often unseen and unappreciated. This is the soil ecosystem, a bustling community of living and non-living things all working together in a complex, delicate dance. It is not simply dirt, it is a vibrant metropolis. Within a single handful of healthy soil, you can find billions of microorganisms, countless tiny insects, tangled networks of fungal threads, and the questing roots of plants. These elements are all connected, each playing a vital role. The plants provide food, the fungi break down dead material, and the tiny creatures burrow and mix, creating a healthy, living foundation for all life on land. Without this hidden world, our own world would look very different indeed. This soil community is the engine room of our planet. It is responsible for recycling nutrients, filtering our water, and allowing new life to spring forth. Imagine a fallen leaf in a forest. It does not simply disappear. It is consumed and transformed by this underground society. Bacteria, fungi, worms, and beetles all work to break it down into its basic components, returning those precious nutrients to the soil so that new plants can grow. This cycle of life, death, and renewal is fundamental to the health of every forest, meadow, and garden. It is a process that has been perfected over millions of years, a silent, tireless effort that sustains the green world we so admire. Understanding this intricate web of life is more important now than ever before. It reminds us that even the smallest creatures have a purpose. The earthworm, often overlooked, is a master engineer, tunneling through the soil to aerate it and improve its structure. The mycelial network of fungi acts like a vast underground internet, connecting trees and plants, allowing them to share resources and even communicate with one another. Every component, no matter its size, contributes to the whole. By looking closely at this miniature world, we begin to grasp the sheer complexity and wonder of nature's design, a system where nothing is wasted and everything has its place. Creating a small version of this world in a jar is a wonderful way to witness this magic firsthand. It is like holding a tiny planet in your hands. This simple experiment allows us to peel back the curtain and observe the fundamental processes of life in action. We can see how a community establishes itself, how resources are used, and how life adapts and changes over time. It is a personal window into the grand, interconnected systems that govern all life on Earth. By building our own small ecosystem, we are not just conducting a science experiment. We are connecting with the very essence of the natural world in a profound and intimate way. To begin this remarkable journey, you must first gather the essential building blocks for your new world. Find a large clear glass jar with a lid. This will be the vessel for your miniature planet. The clearer the glass, the better your view will be of the life unfolding within. Next, you must venture outside to a garden, a park, or a nearby woodland. Your mission is to collect the materials that will form the foundation of your ecosystem. Look for a spot with rich, damp soil, perhaps under a log or at the base of a large tree. This soil is not just dirt. It is a repository of life, filled with dormant seeds, tiny eggs, and countless microorganisms ready to awaken. With your jar ready, the first step is to create a drainage layer. Place a small layer of pebbles or gravel at the bottom. This is crucial as it prevents the soil from becoming waterlogged, which could drown the roots of your plants and harm the small creatures within. Think of it as creating an underground reservoir system for your small world. On top of the pebbles, you might add a thin layer of activated charcoal, which can be found at a pet or garden store. This charcoal acts as a natural filter, helping to keep the water clean and preventing any unpleasant odors from developing over time, ensuring your ecosystem remains fresh and healthy. Now it is time for the most important ingredient, the soil itself. Gently scoop up a generous amount of the rich, dark earth you found. Be sure to include some of the leaf litter and small twigs from the surface, as these materials will provide the initial food source for the decomposers in your jar. As you collect the soil, look closely. You may find small worms, tiny millipedes, or other invertebrates. Try to include a few of these creatures. They are the pioneering residents of your new world, the engineers and recyclers who will get to work immediately. This soil is the heart of your ecosystem, bringing with it the potential for a complex community. Finally, you will add the green, living canopy to your world. Carefully dig up a few small, hardy plants from the same area where you collected the soil. Moss is an excellent choice, as are small ferns or tiny seedlings. Gently place them into the soil in your jar, arranging them as you please. You can add a small piece of bark or a stone to create interesting terrain. Once everything is in place, give the soil a light misting of water, just enough to make it damp, not soggy. Then, seal the lid. Your miniature planet is now complete, a self-contained world ready to begin its own unique story of life. In the first few days, your sealed world will begin its transformation. You will likely notice condensation forming on the inside of the glass. This is a wonderful sign, for it is the beginning of your jar's very own water cycle. The moisture from the soil and plants evaporates, rises, condenses on the cool glass, and then rains back down, watering the community within. This miniature weather system is a perfect illustration of the larger water cycle that sustains our entire planet. It shows how water is constantly recycled within a closed system, providing the life-giving moisture that all living things need to survive. The jar has begun to breathe. As the days turn into a week, you may start to see subtle but significant changes in the soil and on the surfaces within. Look closely at the decaying leaves or twigs you included. You might notice a delicate, white, thread-like network spreading across them. This is mycelium, the vegetative part of fungi. These fungi are the master decomposers of your ecosystem. They are diligently working to break down the dead organic matter, unlocking the nutrients stored within and making them available for the plants to use. This recycling process is fundamental, turning death back into life and ensuring the long-term health and stability of your miniature world. Be patient and observe carefully, for new life may soon make a surprise appearance. You might see a tiny snail slowly making its way across a leaf, or a small beetle burrowing into the soil. These creatures may have been transported into the jar as eggs or in a dormant state, only to awaken in their new home. You may also witness the miracle of new growth. A seed that lay hidden in the soil might suddenly sprout, sending a tender green shoot up towards the light. These events are thrilling moments of discovery, revealing the hidden potential for life that was locked away in the soil you collected. Over weeks and months, the drama continues to unfold. Some plants may thrive, while others may wither and become food for the decomposers. The population of small insects might fluctuate. This is nature's way of finding balance. The ecosystem is adjusting, with each component finding its niche. Watching these changes is like fast-forwarding through ecological succession. You are witnessing the raw, unfiltered processes of competition, decomposition, and regeneration. Your jar is no longer just a collection of soil and plants. It has become a living, breathing entity with its own rhythms and its own story of survival and adaptation. Observing this miniature world provides a profound and accessible lesson in the principles of ecology. We see, in a very direct way, how every single component is interconnected. The plants produce oxygen, the animals consume it and release carbon dioxide, which the plants then use for photosynthesis. The fungi and bacteria break down waste, turning it into food for the plants. Nothing is independent. The health of one part of the system directly affects the health of all the others. This sealed jar becomes a powerful symbol of our own planet, a reminder that Earth is also a closed system, where resources are finite, and the actions of one species can have ripple effects throughout the entire web of life. This simple experiment also teaches us about the incredible resilience and adaptability of nature. Even within the confines of a small glass jar, life finds a way. It establishes cycles, creates balance, and continues to evolve. We witness the constant flow of energy, from the sunlight that fuels the plants to the decomposers that recycle the very last vestiges of organic matter. It is a lesson in sustainability. A healthy ecosystem is one that can sustain itself, where waste from one process becomes the fuel for another. This principle is something humanity must learn from if we are to create a more sustainable way of living on our own planet. The appearance of new life, whether it be a tiny insect emerging from an egg or a seed sprouting from the soil, fills us with a sense of wonder. It highlights the immense biodiversity hidden within even the most ordinary patch of ground. We learn that soil is not an inert substance, but a living, breathing reservoir of potential. This perspective encourages us to look at the world around us with new eyes, to see the complexity and importance in places we might have previously overlooked. It fosters a deeper appreciation for the small, often invisible organisms that perform the essential work of maintaining a healthy planet. The world in your jar is a microcosm of the vast, intricate beauty of life itself. Ultimately, this journey into a jar teaches us about our own place in the natural world. By creating and observing this tiny ecosystem, we become its stewards, its caretakers. It connects us to the fundamental processes that sustain us all. We learn that every action has a consequence, and that balance is delicate and precious. This humble jar of soil, plants, and tiny creatures becomes a teacher, offering quiet lessons in patience, observation, and respect for the intricate dance of life. It is a powerful reminder that we are not separate from nature, but an integral part of it, and that its health is inextricably linked to our own.